Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Military Mayday. We're pointing out a few pieces on the chessboard. Got a couple stories here. The Samsung family members to sell 2.8 trillion won worth of shares in Samsung units. Now that comes out to 2.12 billion. They're selling it on blocks. What they're selling it for is to pay for the 12 trillion won in inheritance tax when their father died, and that's over 9 billion. Here's the number on that: 9,093,049,200.00. It's quite a bit of a chunk change for inheritance. Our other story is going to be the SR-91 Aurora. It was kind of made up in the 80s and was put on the map. In 95, there was 455 million in black aircraft production money spent. But here's the kicker: in 86, a year after it was put on the map, there was 2.7 billion spent on a mysterious project. Now, in the mid 80s, 2.7 billion was a hell of a chunk of some change there. I mean, that's an incredible amount for the 80s. Let's get into it here. Well, you know what? Before we do that, hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoy this type of information. I think it's kind of groovy. But we'll get going here. Family members of Samsung Group plan to sell nearly 2.8 trillion, 2.12 billion worth of their shares of Samsung Electronics and other affiliates in a block deal in an apparent bid to pay inheritance tax, industry sources said Wednesday. Ra-hee, the mother of Samsung Electronics chairman, and her two daughters, Hotel Shilla Co, are pushing to unload 29.8 million shares, 2.2 trillion in won. The sale will be a discount 1.2 to 2% of the Samsung Electronic closing price of 73.60 yuan. On Wednesday, the block deal is expected to be completed before the stock market opens Thursday. We're doing the deals without off-market time, huh? Hong plans to unload the largest amount, 19.2 trillion, followed by Seo-hyun and Boo-jin. The Hotel Shilla CEO also plans to unload her stake in Samsung. The block was widely seen as aimed at paying inheritance taxes totaling 12 trillion yuan, following the death of late Samsung Group chairman Lee Jae-yong in October 2020. Since his death, the owners' group members have been paying their inheritance tax in installments over a 5-year span that started in April 2021. That's into that story, but that is, you want to talk about inheritance tax, and we got some issues here in this country with inheritance tax that needs to be looked at and talked about and done away with, especially for people making under a certain amount of money, because you can't afford to pay for that stuff. So anyway, we'll go to this next one, the SR-91 Aurora, the Mach 5 Air Force plane that could be a game changer. Although several reports citing the SR-91 have been documented, this notorious airframe has not been officially disclosed. The SR-91 explainer: in the 1980s, a moniker, Aurora, first appeared on the Black program spy plane request. Since then, the infamous, perhaps mythical airframe has remained an enigma. Military engineers wanted to construct a hypersonic plane capable of reaching speeds in excess of Mach 50. No other plane in existence has been able to fly this fast. Although several reports citing the SR Aurora 91 have been documented, the airframe has not been officially disclosed. The evidence of the Aurora was real. I bet your ass it was. Los Angeles Times and Aviation Week and Space Technology first put the SR-91 on the map in the mid-80s. Both outlets reported the name Aurora had been inadvertently included in America's 95 planned $455 million budget for black aircraft projects. According to the magazine, the moniker Project Aurora actually references the array of unique airframes, not just the SR-91 alone. So they were going through testing airframes. The Sun Sentinel also corroborated these numbers, according to the Sandbox News. These references indicated Pentagon had a secretive program that would expect to cost even more than nearly $1 billion, the B-2 spirited endeavor. As detailed in 1986 procurement document obtained by Aviation Week, funding for a mysterious project had reached roughly $2.7 billion. SR-71 Blackbird successor. In the 80s, the legendary SR-71 Blackbird airframe was nearly the end of its service life as the fastest plane to ever fly the skies anywhere on Earth. The Blackbird was certainly a tough act to follow. The airframe could reach in excess of 3.2 Mach, powered by a unique Pratt & Whitney J58 engine. There's that pretty thing. Designed with a minimized radar cross-section, the Blackbird is considered to be an early attempt at the stealth design since the aviation space was rapidly evolving around that time. Engineers were already working towards the Blackbird's successor. Many analysts believe that the U.S. had a technological capacity to produce Mach 5 airplanes capable of reaching hypersonic speeds. They probably already had the prototype ready to go in the 80s. Over the next decade, detailed examinations of the various U.S. defense claims that unaccounted for funds have been channeled into secret programs. Sightings also began to pop up, all alleging that the Aurora prototype was already taking flight. In '89, an engineer asserted that he witnessed a triangle-shaped airframe resembling renderings of the Aurora over the North Sea. However, since this famous airframe can reportedly fly at speeds 5 times faster than sound, the likelihood that this individual could have actually spotted it flying is very, very low. The Air Force was flying both the B-2 and the F-1117 Nighthawk around this time, which could have been what was seen flying in the skies. Yep. In 2000, an additional Aurora clue emerged. Nick Alster cited the Aberdeen Press and Journal cited confidential sources when he claimed that the RAF and USAF argued to be the base of the Aurora airframe since the base has longer runways. Otterside explained that it would make a suitable runway for high-altitude experimental aircraft. In 2006, when the British Ministry of Defense released a report suggesting that the U.S. Air Force has initiated plans to produce Mach 4 to 6 highly supersonic airframes, ultimately, though no conclusive evidence had emerged to confirm the existence of such a project. But we know that all this stuff goes on. We know it. Let's skip down here to the bottom. Despite the litany of claims surrounding the Aurora's existence, this airframe is yet to be confirmed by U.S. officials. If mysterious SR-91 does exist, it could top the Blackbird's speed record. Oh, I'm sure. What is talking up to Mach 6? Apparently that's this one here. There she is. And that is a good looking girl, by the way. I like it. Okay, like and subscribe. Toodaloo.